So, hi friends, how you doing? It's that time again. Welcome to D&D Civil War Empire, where tonight our heroes of the Empire will continue their dive into the Forge Summit as they face off against two small red dragons. But first, some of the news that we have going on. Number one, webcam is different. Hopefully it looks all right. I'm going to continue to tweak on it a little bit. It was kind of acting up a little bit ago. Hopefully I don't have any issues. If I notice anything, I'll quickly try to fix it. But it's a GoPro that doesn't quite want to work the way that I want it to work. So I'll probably have to mess with it a little more to get it just right. Tonight we wrap up what was supposed to be our 5 for 5. Unfortunately, last night Brewing Storm did not occur. There was a bit of mix-up and confusion with that, so I apologize for them not being here. But we love bringing these games to you guys, and we hope you enjoy being here for them. We will have another 5 for 5 night, or 5 for 5 week coming up here sometime very soon. We actually have, and actually the camera just bugged out again, didn't it? We have a lot of these coming up in the somewhat near future, so man, I'm gonna have to fix this. I promise you we'll get it all sorted out and we'll get everything taken care of. Beyond that, we have kind of some new things going on. We're going to be posting our schedule on both Twitter and our website, or on our Twitch channel here, so you guys can see when we're going to be live more often. And we'll be pinning it on our Twitter account as well, so that way it's available to us. Then this coming weekend, we're going to be off until Sunday. When we come back on Sunday, we'll have Alliance. There will be no Tyranny this week, as Havoc said he needed an extra week to prepare after completing Horde of the Dragon Queen and going into the Rise of Tiamat. So he needed some time to prepare for that. Giants is going to be back on Tuesday, not Wednesday this week, because of the 4th of July holiday on Wednesday. So be sure to tune in on Tuesday for that. I'm going to do a lot of promoting on that, so everybody is familiar or aware that that's going to be happening. Again, stay tuned to our Twitter because we have some new cool stuff coming up. Next week, I'm working on some things right now. Hopefully be kind of cool to do, and then the week following we got some new streams starting up, so be sure to tune in, check it out, hang out with us. And then Alliance returns on the 7th with Entropy on the 8th. That starts our official session 1 for that as well. So with that is a lot of stuff tonight. I know it's a very different situation. Let's check in with our players to see if they're ready to go here. You guys good over here?
No.
No? No. Alright.
As good as we can be walking into the waiting maws of two dragons.
Alright, so last session, the heroes of the Empire, leaving a bit disappointed from the Temple of the Weave, continued onward to the village of Elotiran, a wood elf village located near the entry to the Sapphire Woodlands. It was here that they would meet Yellen, the mayor of the village, who would offer aid and assistance, though they had little to actually give to the adventurers. The next morning, the party would begin journeying towards Stormholm Keep, and as they prepared to leave the village, they watched as a massive magma-filled boulder crashed into one of the houses within the town itself. The trek to the southeast towards the keep would also be greeted by similar boulders, all scattered around the road leading to the city itself. After reaching Stormholm Keep, they would meet with Freddy, who explained that the doppelgangers had continued to cause a bit of chaos through the realm, including unleashing the undead upon the city of Kalido. Freddy would also attempt to prepare our adventurers for their journey westward towards the Iron Mountain. The path to the Iron Mountain was smooth travels, with Kai Gladamain taking them straight to the foothills of the mountain itself. They would take their potions as they started making their way up the side of the mountain, which were given to them by Freddy, and then journey the rest of the way up the scorching hot mountainside to the Forge Summit. It was here that our party would be met with a variety of resistance, though in the session, speaking with two twin, smaller red dragons who are now prepared to feast on their remains. And that's where we will start our session tonight. And I'm immediately going to just change the music because there is 100% nothing peaceful about what is about to occur here.
Let me guess what the first thing is. Roll initiative.
Yeah, you'll probably be rolling initiative almost immediately.
Nothing peaceful says you, but perhaps getting roasted like a pig on a spit might not be one of the worst things ever.
I mean, there are always worse things that could happen, I suppose. So yeah, go ahead and get your initiative rolls in, and fortunately, there are 3 3s there. That is not a good start to our session. Select your character.
So I'm going before the dragon since I have higher initiative, right?
It would go by Dex.
So they have a +0.
Gotta find my token.
Did you click on your token and re-roll your initiative?
There we go.
Hey.
Hold on.
Yes, they have a +0 to Dex. And we'll change that to 14. So what was your Dex?
+1.
Okay. So, yep, that worked out. So yeah, starting combat here, the two dragons snaking their way out of their two small hordes from these northern corners of this chamber. Belvedere, you are the first to react seeing them move in your direction.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
One of my first thoughts is like, I told you so. I'll expand my...
Now's not the time!
We can talk about this later, okay? So what are you doing?
I will cast... Actually, I might save that for now, just in case we get into shenanigans later. It's tempting, but I'm going to... Okay, I was gonna go step up to the one up by Vormash here.
Mm-hmm.
Can I step? Well, let's see, hold on. That's not. I can't just step up like that, can I?
What's that?
I was technically down on the floor below.
Yep, you'd have to. I mean, you could go over and up. That'll be 10 feet of movement, though. Well, yeah, about 10 feet of movement, give or take a couple of feet for elevation change, because that ramps up down here. So.
But I can do it without a check, or?
Yeah, you could do it without a check. Yeah,
Okay,
you
I'll
just
do that.
consider it your movement, and that'd be fine. I wouldn't penalize you for trying to climb up that.
Alrighty, then I'll do that. And can I stand right here, possibly?
No,
space?
that's a doorway there, so you would not be able to stand in that spot.
Okay. In which case, I'm going to initiate my attacks.
Okay.
Attack twice with my longsword.
All right. Oh, my screen just reset. 1 second. I do not think that hits. I gotta reload everything because the page just refreshed. Oh, the webcam went down too. That's not good. It's gonna be that kind of night. Yeah, so a 10 does not hit, unfortunately.
Alrighty.
Anything else?
No, 11 probably doesn't either.
And 11 does not either.
What?
So yeah, as you swipe your sword in the direction of the small red dragon here, he's able to kind of slink back away from it both times, avoiding all contact from your long sword. Anything else?
Nope, that'll be it for my turn.
All right. It will be Vormash's turn, at which point he is immediately being this close to the dragon that is going to kind of try to hurt him immediately. Cast Firebolt, but unfortunately Firebolt is not going to hit.
But he respects the dragon's opinion.
He does. He absolutely respects the dragon's opinion, and he understands the disagreement between the two of them. But the spell does not hit, as the dragon is a bit prepared for his attack and kind of dodges out of the way a little. Evelana, you're up.
I am going to vicious mockery the dragon, and what I'm going to say is I'm just so disappointed.
I'm
not
so
mad.
disappointed
I'm just
in you.
disappointed.
Wisdom save from the dragon. Yeah, a 21 is definitely going to save.
If I move, he gets a attack on me, right?
Yes, if you try to move out of his range without disengaging, he will have an attack of opportunity.
I'm gonna bonus action healing word, Cedric. And
Thank
that'll
you.
be my turn.
Alright, go ahead and cast it. Bear with me, guys. I'm replacing the webcam to hopefully get something up and working here as quickly as possible. So yeah, 9 points of healing for Cedric from Healing Word. Anything else?
No, that was it.
Cool. Cedric, what are you doing?
So I'm guessing that I'm not able to get around there at all because Vermosh and Belvedere are blocking the way.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, you can enter their space, but it's rough terrain when you get near the dragon.
Also, what is the symbol on my token?
That was something that you cast from last session. I don't know what it is.
It's not usually
Okay,
the inspiration token, I don't think.
No, the inspiration would be the little stopwatch thing. Let's see if I can fix my... Give me a second here. I'm trying to fix my webcam here. Hey. I have
So
a
I'm able
webcam.
to hop down, and then can
I'll
I hop
fix
up
it.
back up onto these stairs?
You can. Shouldn't have too much trouble with it.
Then I want to make my longsword attacks.
Alrighty. 16. 1 sec. 16 does not hit.
23.
23 definitely hits. Thanks for bearing with me here, guys. This is a little unexpected.
7 points of damage, and for my bonus action, I'd like to use my second wind.
All right. So yeah, heal yourself up a little bit from your healing wind. Ooh, that's a good one right there too. And then beyond that, that is pretty much... That should be your turn, because that's both your primary and your bonus. And you have no more movement left, correct? Oh, you'd have to disengage to do so.
I have no... That's my turn, yes.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. This one is first. So what is he gonna do? So let me double check his character sheet. Okay. So trying to snake around and hide behind the corner a little bit, peeks his head out, and as he does, I need Belvedere and Vormash both to give me a dex save. Belvedere, give me an attack of opportunity against him as well, please. Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and give me some damage.
I'm gonna throw a second level Divine Smite for some stank on it as well.
All right. All right. So another 4 damage on that, plus 4 at higher level. All right, cool. All right, so taking this nice little chunk, dex save for both you and Vormash.
He also gets the +3 for my aura.
From 3 from your aura? Okay.
Yeah.
So he saves, so he'll take half damage. However, you do not, so you're going to take the full brunt of this.
Ouch.
22. So as he kind of snakes around this corner, peeking his head out, unleashes a torrent of fire that goes out. And as it does, Vormash is able to quickly kind of sidestep and put his back to the wall that's to his north. You're unable to get anywhere out of range of it, taking the full brunt of the attack as this gout of fire just shoots out from his mouth. On the other side, he similarly does the same thing, peeks around the corner. Cedric, you will also get an attack of opportunity here. And 18 hits. Go ahead and give me some damage. All right, and as he peeks around the corner, doing the same exact thing, unleashes this gout of flame. Avalana and Cedric, go ahead and give me your dex saves.
Ooh.
Yeah, so Avalana is able to, similar to Vormash, hide around the corner, put her back up against the stone wall to her north. However, you, Cedric, are unable to do so, taking the full 19 points of fire damage. Avalana, you save, taking half of that.
I'm glad I used my second wind.
Mm-hmm.
So
Avalana, you would take 9.
Okay.
Belvedere, he just unleashed a bunch of fire at you.
Belvedere smash.
Belvedere smash.
Though actually, before I first get in there, yeah, it's action and a bonus action, unfortunately. So I'm going to. So I'm going. Yeah, I'm going to use land hands to restore myself by 20 points.
Alrighty. Anything else?
And I'll move inside, so just right there. So I'm still kind of in visual range of everybody.
Alright.
That'll be my turn because I can't do much more.
Okay. Vormash, not really liking his position here. Let's see what he has. He doesn't have a lot of big things, does he? He has a bunch of spells, but nothing's... Oh, right. He's a wizard. Never mind. Never mind. No, he doesn't have 3rd level either. I'm just looking to see what he has here. He's gonna go ahead and do the same thing because that seemed to do a decent amount of damage here. Oh no, it did not. It did not do a decent amount of damage. So instead, he's going to peek his head around the corner and is going to cast Chill Touch, which is going to hit because he missed the first one, dealing 8 necrotic damage as he quickly reaches around, placing his hand upon the head of this kind of ferocious little red dragon. Does a little bit of damage, but it's not a considerable amount. He looks still pretty healthy and ready to go. Avalana, you're up.
How big of it is the fall of it? Like, how much is the distance if I were to just jump off of where I am instead of taking the stairs?
It's like a 2 or 3 foot distance. I'm not counting this as rough terrain for you guys, though. So if you jump down, that's okay. But if you do, go ahead.
So I'm going to move by jumping down, and then I'll cast Vicious Mockery at it yet again.
Okay. So as you leave his range without disengaging, he is going to get an attack of opportunity.
Wait,
upon you.
I was still in his range?
Yes, you're still within 5 foot of him. So his square is 5 foot of that. You can still snap around. Yeah, that's why Cedric got an attack of opportunity, but you did not, because all he did was peeked around the corner and is kind of hiding around the corner where you were still in range of him to be able to hit him with melee attacks.
Okay, I'm still gonna have done that.
Okay. So he'll take a snap at you as you kind of rush around. An 11 to hit.
No, that doesn't hit.
All right. So as he snaps forward, attempting to land an attack as you're trying to rush out, you're quickly able to kind of evade his attack and move back. And Vicious Mockery, another wisdom save. 9 this time, so he takes the full brunt of the damage here. And what do you say to him?
I just tell him that he's a bad boy.
You're a very bad boy. All right. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Cedric, you're up.
I'm going to activate my Radiant Soul. So essentially my eyes start glowing with radiant energy and 2 radiant wings sprout out of my back.
Okay.
Move up and make an attack with my longsword.
Alrighty. Yeah, 23 hits.
17 damage.
Awesome. Anything else?
Well, another attack.
24 hits. Alright, so quickly...
And
Go ahead.
How bad is this guy looking?
He's looking a little beat up.
I want to use my action surge to keep attacking.
Okay. Unfortunately, that does not hit. And same with the second. So, as you're able to land the first 2 attacks, and they land perfectly, as you kind of immediately jump into position as Avalana moves out of the way. You come down with the 2 first longsword attacks. They land flawlessly, no issues whatsoever. You watch as he kind of rears back a little bit, taking the full brunt of the damage. But the second 2 attacks, he's kind of able to predict them, almost expecting you to continue, and kind of sidesteps and then backs away as you swipe down for the final attack. And as he does, he kind of rears back, rearing his head back, and prepares for his next attack. On the other side, seeing that he's starting to slowly be surrounded, he looks over at Belvedere, looks over at Vormash, and I need to do this first. All right, and then he immediately turns to Belvedere, reaching forward, the maw open wide as he gets ready to bite down upon your thigh as he reaches forward. A 13 to hit.
Nope.
All right, so as he does, you're able to quickly sidestep, taking your shield and kind of batting his head away, a little disorienting to him, but he still remains standing. On the other side, he also rears back. As he rears... Go ahead.
He has disadvantage because of my Vicious Mockery.
Okay. As he rears back, you watch as a second time in a row, he immediately launches his fire breath. It's going to capture Cedric and Avalana in a 15-foot cone as this reaches out in your direction. I need both of you to give me dex saves, please.
Look at that, I succeeded one.
You succeeded it. All right, both of you succeed, taking half damage, so you will take
rounded
8.
Up or rounded down?
Rounded down, so you'll take 8 fire damage, as he quickly rears back, unleashes another torrent of fire that pours through this room. Cedric, you kind of hide behind your shield a little bit, trying to protect yourself from as much of it as possible, but it begins to fill the chambers. You can tell he is literally fighting to save his own life at this point. Belvedere, you are up.
Shouldn't have asked for a fight if he wasn't going to give it at all.
Attack twice more with my sword.
Uh, 15 does not hit. 22 does, though.
the second level divine smite.
All right.
Also, just in case they have any resistances, the 6 of the damage I did with my last 2 attacks were radiant damage.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you. Anything else?
Nope, that will be my attack.
All right. So as you jab forward with your first attack, he's able to quickly kind of maneuver himself, lifting his right front leg off the ground as your sword jabs forward, kind of avoiding the attack. But as he shifts his body, you're able to bring the sword around and swipe him against his left shoulder, doing a nice little chunk of damage. Again, still standing. He looks pretty healthy, though, and kind of raring to go. But with that, Vormosh does get his next turn. And let's see what he's going to do. Because, yeah. He's going to use his action to cast Mage Armor upon himself. So that's number 1 here. One sec. Plus 30. What is his dex? Plus 1, so 14. Okay. And then for his bonus, I'm going to look and see what he has for a bonus action here. Not much. Yeah, so that's probably going to be his turn. Knowing the kind of damage that you guys have already taken from this guy, trying to protect himself in case of incoming attacks, cast Mage Armor on himself. Avalana, you're up.
Am I too close to use my crossbow?
No. The only time that you would be too close would technically be if you're trying to shoot ranged right next to him. So if you were within 5 feet.
Okay, so I'm going to shoot my crossbow.
Go ahead. Uh, 16 does not hit, unfortunately.
Darn. I'm going to move, and that'll be my turn.
All right. So quickly reaching down for the crossbow and letting off a bolt, the kind of the positioning of the small red dragon makes it a little hard to hit him. And as you loose the bolt in his direction, it kind of bounces off the wall next to Cedric, obviously doing no damage to either one of them. Cedric, you're up.
I'm going to hit him with my long sword.
All right. Yep, that hits. All right. Anything else? And again. Yes. Nice. All right. Go ahead and tell me how you just killed this small red dragon in front of you.
Okay, so I have this kind of like radiant energy glowing off of me at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I basically slash him across his chest, and then flipping the sword around, I drive it right into his heart.
Nice. And as you do, you watch as the life kind of exits from his eyes, his head immediately dropping down on top of your sword, which kind of pushes it out of his chest, and falls completely lifeless in the corner of this room.
And then I'm going to fly over to this side,
Okay.
and that'll be my turn.
Alrighty. Alright, what do I want? Seeing or hearing the sound of his friend falling in combat, this one's immediately going to react. How is he going to react, though? He's going to... move here.
Oh no.
Yeah, and do the same thing again. So as he recharges, his fire breath unleashes another gout of flame that pours from in front of him directly out across all three of you. Vormosh needs 2 dex save here. Oh, ouch.
Everyone gets +3.
Cutting words the damage?
Can you what? I'm sorry?
Can I cutting words the damage at all?
Is it a reaction? It should be a reaction, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, if it's a reaction, then yes, you can use your reaction to do so.
Would it just be for one of us or all three?
Go ahead and post the spell for me, if you can.
It's just
The spell card in your thing. in
it's
your
not a
inventory.
spell. It's a bardic ability.
Oh, click the little bubble so that it...
I
the
don't
little
I
speech
don't have
bubble.
it
Oh.
on my thing.
Oh. Okay, 1 second. I'm reloading here. Again. Because that's the kind of day I've had here. Oh, you didn't put it in your thing? Your,
At 3rd level, you learn how to
Traits.
use your wit to distract, confuse, and otherwise sap the confidence and stuff. When a creature that you can see within 60 feet of you makes an attack roll, an ability check, or a damage roll, you can use your reaction to expend one of your
not
uses
in
of
the
Bardic
search
Inspiration.
thing.
one
so I
sec, one
never
sec,
put
one
it
sec.
in.
Let him finish. Hold on. Go ahead.
Rolling a Bardic Inspiration die and subtracting the number from rolled from the creature's roll.
Okay.
You can choose to use the creature.
So, in that case, then it's against the creature's attack. It's not towards a specific individual that's going to mitigate their damage. So, Avalana, you would roll a Bardic Inspiration die. When you do, that number will be subtracted from the amount of damage that the group will take. So go ahead and roll your Bardic Inspiration die. What is it, a D8 right now?
Yeah.
Yep, so go ahead and roll that. Okay, so taking 2 damage off of this. 19. Everybody failed, unfortunately, so you take the full brunt of the 19 fire damage.
Spoon, you already have your +3 applied to you.
I do, but the rest of you get +3.
Mhm. But it's still not enough. So even with that +3, none of you would save. So you would take the full brunt, so the 19. As that happens, you watch as Vormosh falls to 0 health, dropping to the ground in front of you. Where does that put you, Cedric?
What do you mean?
You good? Oh yeah, you're good.
Oh,
Just barely.
I'm doing just fine.
You're doing just fine. As Vormosh drops to the ground, Zudroth, the one to the right here, kind of snarls and grins a bit and says, "That is for Zazos. And the next one will be for me." Belvedere, you are up. I'm just peachy.
Everyone's smoldering.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. I'll attack twice more with my long sword. Damn it.
12 does not hit, though. 24 does, though.
I'll just use my last spell slot for level 1 Divine Smite.
Okay, so that's fine. You've committed to that, however, and I just want you to be aware you're not getting a true long rest, and I hope you understand that. Your spell slots don't reset. You don't get to change spells.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're aware.
But all the stuff that comes back on a short rest, you would
Yeah.
get back.
Correct. Everything you would get back on a short rest. The only thing you benefit from this that's different than usual is a level up. So if you get feats, traits, things like that, you get those. And go ahead and add your damage for the other, because you were doing that. Nice. Anything else?
That's it for my turn.
All right. Vormash is on the ground, which means I've got a death save, and I'm going to feel like shit if I kill his character while he's gone. So, here we go, guys. Hey, it's a success. I succeeded, guys. You saw it. Yay. Evelana, you're up. Vormash just dropped. Everybody ahead's looking pretty rough, including the dragon in the room.
Okay. I'm gonna healing word as a bonus action, and I'm going to, as a normal action, I'm going to vicious mockery the dragon.
Okay, who are you using healing word on?
Vormash, he went down, right?
He would not be able to hear you because he's unconscious. Healing.
Crap.
Yeah, he would have to be able to hear you, and if he's unconscious, he cannot hear you.
Well, then I'm just gonna vicious mockery the guy.
All right. All right, so wisdom save. 12, so he fails. So he takes an additional 3 psychic damage. And what do you say to him this time? Or actually, what do you say to this guy?
Well, I tell him that his brother deserved what he got, and you're about to get what you deserve to get now. Not very fluent, but whatever.
It's fine. All right. Gets inside of his head a little bit. You watch as he kind of snarls and looks around the corner in your direction. But otherwise, only taking a small bit of damage from it. Cedric, you're up.
If I go down one, is that actually a space I can stand on, or is that just nothing?
What's that?
I can't go there, so I'm
Yeah,
guessing
you
I
can't get there. That's correct.
Okay, now I'm going to do 2 longsword strikes.
Alrighty. Oh.
Oh,
Go ahead and give me the damage on the first one. So, yeah, you want to change your crit to a solid 8 instead of a 1d8. So go ahead and tell me how you just killed the second dragon in this room.
okay. So, basically, as I ran alongside of it, I basically just sliced into it and drug my sword all the way down across.
Nice.
After this, I'm going to walk over to Vormash and use my healing hands to get him up.
All right.
So he gets points.
I was gonna say I was gonna use lay on hands, give him a point just to get him back up.
All right. So how many points?
6.
All
Unless
right.
that we already leveled up, technically, then it would be 7.
Okay. You wouldn't have leveled up yet because you'll have to take a few minutes to kind of chill out and, everything before you move on. But as you place your hands upon him, sending a bit of a healing surge into him, immediately comes back to, his eyes wide open, freaking out a little bit as he just kind of watched his life flash before his eyes. However, with that, you've slain both.
Not very pleasant.
It was not very pleasant, but you have slain both of these small red wormlings in this chamber.
Can I go to the one I freed and try to harvest teeth and scales and stuff?
Yeah, you can perform a survival check as you're doing so to try to harvest some of them. Kill all the children. Yes, Rindus, kill all the children. Going on the first one, as you begin pulling some of like the scales off of it, you're not able to get good cuts, and you're kind of, as you gash into it, you're kind of cutting a little too far up, and you're not able to get any sizable chunks off of it. Assuming that you spend a few more minutes trying to do so after failing the first time, you are able to get, one sec. You're able to get 9 somewhat smaller red dragon scales off of this thing, along with 8 of the teeth off of the one to the left here. Anything else you guys want to do?
Avalana, please don't release any more dragons.
Okay.
Dude, they messed up everything. Like, all of it's so weird. Sorry, they made changes to Roll20 today, and it has messed with everything.
Yeah, I just realized I was going to try and level up my character. I'm like, why can't I just click on my level? And then I realized that there's a little gear on it now.
It's kind of broken, yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to do his level up because that's for him. What else you guys doing?
Leveling up.
Okay. What else you guys doing?
So we're taking a short rest?
Yes, you're going to take a short rest here, so you can do your level up stuff. Gives you a minute to kind of look around the chambers, so if you're wanting to look around, do anything specific, let me know what that specific thing is.
Oh, my Song of Rest. The bardic ability.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for a short rest, and I believe it's a D6 and an extra D6 hit dice.
Okay.
And then also, can I attune to my Ioun Stone in this time period?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That's what I do.
Okay. Cedric, what are you going to do?
Can I look at the dragon statue, see if I can recognize anything about it or anything?
You can give me an insight check on it.
I was like,
as you kind of look this statue over, you notice that it has a very strong resemblance to both of these dragons. At the bottom, down towards the feet, a plaque on each side, one on the left and one on the right. You see that kind of etched into the red brick at the bottom is the name Zazos and Zudroth, the two dragons that were in the chambers here. You can kind of tell that based on what you're seeing here, it looks like this was just a shrine dedicated to them.
I don't know. I'm just gonna examine this room that I'm in, like, to investigate.
Okay. What are you looking for specifically? Anything?
Looking at anything that's a magical item or a potion inside of all this crazy, just other
Alright.
treasure.
Looking to see what kind of loot you have. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Someday I'll get to use my actual decent investigation check. Nailed it.
Sorry, I'm trying to heal
You
Vormash
see
up here.
everything.
Mm-hmm. All right. So as you start kind of looking around these chambers, you start with the one to the east, and as you're kind of digging through, you're noticing a lot of gold and silver and things of that nature. A few gemstones here and there. As you're looking on this side, on the eastern side of it, you notice a really odd looking orange longsword. It's kind of mixed in underneath all the gold and silver in this chamber.
Orange longsword.
Mm-hmm.
So the Song of Rest, we get that with each hit die we spend, or just with...
I believe it's each hit die, yes.
No, it's just one.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Along with that, as you continue your search, you make your way over to the side over here. And as you kind of search, you're not noticing a lot that stands out, except there is a fine kind of diamond encrusted golden ring kind of mixed in the randomness of all of the stuff on this side. In total, as you kind of make a quick count and kind of survey everything that's in front of you, you make a quick mental note and see that there's roughly 700 copper, 7,000 silver pieces, 2,100 gold pieces, 105 platinum pieces, and 10 citrine gems worth 50 gold pieces each.
For rich guys. So I will grab the ring and the sword. Don't remember if Vormash has identifier or not.
Let's look. Nope. Sure doesn't.
Maybe it was.
Do I happen to recognize this longsword at all?
Not off the top of your head. You can give me
Not any history checks or anything like that.
you can give me a history check on it.
13.
You've heard tales from your past or your family's past within the realm of certain weapons that are made from this region that hold some magical properties, though you can't recall all of the details of it. You would need to have somebody take a bit of time to identify exactly what this sword can do.
I have identify.
You do?
Yeah, it's a ritual.
Release all the dragons.
Well, then I'll hand the long sword and the ring over to Iguana.
Okay, I'll cast it as a ritual spell.
Ritual is, what is that, an hour?
10
10
minutes.
minutes.
Oh, is it 10 minutes? I couldn't remember. Yeah, so you guys are spending roughly an hour trying to recover over here. So you could cast that for both items, should you choose to. And as you do, I'll show Evelyn this item and this item here. And now you have two items and you can tell them or not tell them. It is up to you.
So I have the sword and what else was I
A
given?
ring. You were
A
given a
diamond
ring.
encrusted ring.
So after the first 10 minutes, I'm like, hey guys, this is a sword of like flame.
And as she
Like
starts,
a flame sword.
as she starts to describe it and kind of gives you an idea of kind of what it is, she kind of tells you that she can sense the magical properties within it. Seems like it's a bit stronger than most swords would be. And not only that, but she feels like that the person that attunes to it might be able to do a little more with it. And as she tells you guys, let's see if I can share this. Nope, it's not sharing because Roll20 is broken today. You all now have a card for the Flame Tongue with a +1 bonus to attack and damage.
I just hold it for someone to take it because I can't use long swords.
Can I take it and look it over?
Yeah, you absolutely could look it over. You and Belvedere can sort that out between the two of you.
Do we know what the ring is yet?
Evelana does. Though she has not told you. And she technically doesn't have
so
to
I-
tell you if she doesn't
So
want to.
I have done the ritual, and turns out this ring is just a ring, you guys, just a pretty ring. Do I roll deception?
Nobody's questioning it, so you
Well,
don't
it's
have
just-
to roll for it.
I was just about to ask if, like, I would. Whether or not
Yeah,
I
so
did-
that-
You guys waited way too long for that. You waited until she said something.
Sorry, I was trying to put in my HP and restore it.
So, because they delayed, I'm going to give you advantage on the roll, Avalana. So go ahead and roll deception at advantage. The other you two that are questioning it, go ahead and get an insight check. Okay, even natural, Avalana's able to really sell the fact that she believes this ring is just a fancy, ornate ring that was kind of mixed in with all of the other random loot, including even king's crowns and things of that nature.
And I put it on.
All right.
Well, Belvedere, who do you think should get the sword?
Belvedere doesn't respond.
I was just gonna say that. Well, because apparently, if I don't talk, we're getting all kinds of shenanigans going on.
Okay, all right. So if you want to complain about that, you guys literally took forever before she even said anything, and then she said something, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, now I want to do something." So no, you don't.
Try and talk.
Now, what's going to happen? And I kind of explained this in our Sunday game. You're going to have to be a little quicker with everything. Because when we get into especially the final session where you're fighting, if you're not responding within 15 seconds, I'm done. I mean, we're skipping you. So you're going to have to be a little quicker. I mean, you got time to react to this. It got to be a little more fluid because we can't just hold up sessions based on kind of waiting for reactions. And you have to admit that's fair because she gave you plenty of time before she actually came out and said, do I have to roll deception on this?
Can I just say something really funny?
Sure.
I was just looking at my level 4 spells that I get as a bard. I have Charm Monster as an option.
Now you get it. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that would have been helpful, but...
Uh-huh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, continue on. That's a little salty.
All right, so you take a long rest. The two of you, what is the decision?
As I was going to say, is that I don't know, but I do like to use my longsword, and
It's about my only attack.
I mean, same. Other than the javelins I carry around.
It's true, both of you, that's pretty much all you do is longsword attack, so I thought it would be funny to throw a magical longsword in here and see which one of you would fight for it.
Of course you would.
Alright, so until you decide, your long rest ends, and as you remain in this chamber, you're noticing it's getting a little quiet. Aside from off to the north, kind of reverberating through the chamber to the north, the sound of hammer falls over and over, a hammer crashing into metal kind of repeatedly. Beyond that, the only other sound you hear, aside from yourselves, is the sound of the flowing lava in the center chamber of this room that kind of makes its way out and towards the pit in the center.
Should we go to that portal?
Do we really want to mess with the portal?
I mean, that's up to you guys.
Wasn't that the only place to go?
No, there's another path further back in the main room.
Oh, I thought that was the only path.
Yeah, no, there was, when you were in the main room, by where all of the warriors were that you fought, there was a path that headed towards the west that led into another big chamber. Holy cow. Alright, so what are you guys doing?
I'm game for whatever is decided, because I just made a big no mistake.
You just made a big no mistake? Oh no. It's not good when you make those. Belvedere, Cedric, what are you guys doing?
Well, first of all, I decided that Belvedere can have the sword,
All right.
and I don't think messing with the portal is a good idea.
All right. So
For
Belvedere,
all we know, it's a one-way trip.
Belvedere, you are now in possession of the Flame Tongue longsword.
I nod to Cedric and say, "Thank you, sir."
All right. And with that, the group begins following Cedric as he makes his way out of the chambers, walking by the portal that stands off to the west.
And that was the loot. All that was the sum total of the loot we found with the dragons.
Yep. Yeah, it should be in the chat there.
So do we just split this up, or do we take what we want?
And you do whatever you want. Figure out how you want to split that up. You can make notes. If you're going to take the whole thing, it's going to be heavy. So keep that in mind.
I'm thinking we'll divvy it up as evenly as we possibly can. If you want, give me just a moment, I can do the math real quick. If you can drag me along with the rest of the group, please, GM, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is sketchy. Bridge that can only fit one person at a time.
Funny how nature do that.
Can I search for traps or something? Like see if there's traps on the wall?
Sure,
little
you
dart holes?
absolutely could do that.
What do I roll for that?
Investigation. As you look forward and kind of look around you, everything looks pretty solid. Up ahead, you see one of the guys you saw on the outside of the chambers, who was kind of helping to chisel away some of the rock, pushing one of these wooden carts like what you see down here across the floor, making his way over to the western end of the chamber itself. But beyond that, you do not see anything.
Looks like the bridge is safe to cross.
As you slowly start making your way out here, you do notice that the lava is boiling and pretty damn hot. And as you start to kind of walk around, it looks rough, like it would be very bad to fall into. passive perception based, Cedric, as you start walking forward, you're noticing some of the bubbling in the lava looks a little unnatural.
Ah, crap. Would I know what it could be? Or do I just know that something's up?
You would just know that something is up.
Well, I will continue on carefully.
Okay. As you get about right there...
I'm gonna wait until Cedric fully passes the bridge before I even start crossing it.
As you get about there, you start to notice that the bubbling and churning starts to be very repetitive.
Drawing my longsword.
And as you do, you watch as several of these lava-looking, kind of like bug-type things begin to flutter out of the lava and begin to swarm the platform that you're standing on as you enter into this this four-way temple up ahead. And I'll go ahead and have everybody roll initiative, please.
Also, question, do we just convert the citrine gems into gold, or do you want us to actually carry them?
Carry them, and then you can trade them in later.
Okay. Let's get a good initiative roll this time.
Good initiative roll, guys.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
I just keep getting further and further back.
All right. I guess we're gonna go back to the other music now. 1 second. Okay. So with that, as the party begins to cross, the guy at the end of the stairs paying really no mind to you as he's pushing this cart along. You watch as, what is that, 8 of these little fluttering bug-looking things begin to pull themselves out of the lava and start swarming ahead. And I need to make sure that I understand their abilities here. 1 second. Yeah, okay. So, the one next to Cedric, actually I'm going to start up here first. So he's going to move forward and attack with his claws. A 4 is going to miss. Going to start moving them forward here. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So here we go. So let's do this as is. Fuck. That one's gonna miss.
I think you're trying to kill me.
Hey, these have all missed except for that one, okay?
And that one is a crit twice.
I mean, he was trying really hard. So the one directly in front of you, Cedric, as the others are kind of clawing their way forward with their first set of attacks, only the one directly in front of you is actually able to land an attack. And as he does, he deals so 7 and 5. So he deals 12 damage total, 5 fire damage, and 7 slashing damage as his claws kind of dash forward and start digging straight into you. Vormash is going to...
On one of the ones that missed me, I'd like to use my riposte.
Okay. The repose.
I get to make my reaction make a melee attack, and I add a superiority die onto it.
Okay, go ahead and do so. Alright, and which
11.
one are you going to attack?
One of the ones that didn't hit.
Which one? So it's the 2 at the north and 2 at the south. Alright. Go ahead and give me the damage on it. All right.
15.
Nice. So as you swipe down immediately, hitting this thing with the long sword, as soon as it makes contact, you watch as this thing flutters and almost falls out of the sky, just barely hanging on, but it did a considerable amount of damage to it. The three behind you with Formash, they are also going to attack, doing the same exact thing. 15, 10, and then the one behind him is actually going to do something different. I want to see what that range is. Just out of range of Cedric, as he kind of leans back a little bit and lets out a gout of fire that goes directly ahead. You are just on the other side of it. You watch as the fire kind of coats over top of Ormash and stops directly beside you and doesn't actually hit you. The 15 is going
Long sword.
What's that?
Now's the time to use it.
Right. Claw is going to hit for 6 damage. And the fire breath, I need to roll his dex save. Yeah, and he saves, so he takes half of that damage. So, holy shit. All right, so he takes 5 fire damage. So 5 fire damage. With that, though, Avalana, you watch as both of them begin to get swarmed by these weird-looking, kind of flying lava beasts as they cross this bridge into this other chamber. Belvedere, you were up first, though.
Okie doke. I'll move this off my screen again. So you said some of them are taken off, though?
What's that?
Some of these, like, little guys are taken off?
What do you mean?
The little, imps?
They're not imps.
Impish?
They're weird-looking lava bug things. You can try to identify them if that's really what you want to do.
Let's just have me move up. And
They
to attack
they
range
don't-
with them.
They don't look like beasts. They almost look like they're conjured kind of creatures.
I'm gonna get to there, because that's about as close as I can really get.
All right. Anything else?
And I'll take 2 javelins and attack.
Alrighty.
I will aim for the one that's first directly in front of me right there. It's harassing for mash.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that hits. All right.
Still up.
Yep.
I'll throw my second javelin at it.
Alrighty. Yep, that hits too. Alright, so kind of hitting this thing that's kind of fluttering in the air, it's a little harder to hit than you would imagine. And as you hit it, the first one, as it kind of clips its wing a little bit, you watch as it kind of lowers to the closer to the ground, but then it's able to kind of lift back up and kind of get back into a good hovering position. The second one, as you kind of launch the second javelin in its direction, you watch as it also hits and almost drops it completely to the ground. It kind of, as it falls, it's kind of pushing itself up with its wings, trying to get back up into the air once again. Evelana, you were up though.
So I'm gonna try to crossbow one of them.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to crossbow the one on the left of Vormosh.
All right. Yeah, 18 hits.
So that's gonna be my turn. How do I show the damage?
So click on where it says light crossbow. Right there in the roll thing here. At the side. There you go. Alright, anything else?
No.
Alright, so quickly firing off a crossbow bolt, you watch as it makes solid impact. Doesn't do a lot of damage to it as it kind of pulls right through this this being and flies out the other side of it. Vormosh feeling kind of like Cedric did, a bit surrounded, and it's not a good feeling. He's gonna just start casting Chill Touch, so he's going to go with the one directly to his north, which is going to hit, doing 6 necrotic damage. And that is going to be his turn. Cedric, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to attack the one to my north, which is the one I hit last time.
Okay. Yeah, that hits. All right, and as you make impact with it, you watch as the greatsword gashes through it, and as soon as it does, it kind of goes up into like a puff of like hot magma that disintegrates and falls into the pit below it.
Then I'm immediately going to attack the one to its left.
All right. Ooh, ouch. Go ahead and get a roll. That's unfortunate. One side of the spectrum to the other.
55.
55. All right. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check, please.
A check or a saving throw?
A check.
Actually, it's the same thing.
A check. All right. So that's unfortunate. So as you go to attack the one in front of you, it's just far enough out of your reach that as you go forward with the longsword, you're unable to connect, and it kind of throws your footing off a bit. And as you're trying to like readjust, you let loose of your weapon, and it falls to the square directly in front of you. You will now have to pick up your weapon in order to use it again.
Which is a bonus action?
I think it's an action. If it's down, it's an action or your full movement to pick it up. Because you're crouching to pick up the item to come back to your feet.
Okay.
But that's very fortunate for you, because all the ones around you are just going to continue doing the same thing instead of doing what they were going to do. 19 to the north. The one in the middle is going to cast Fire Breath, so dex save. 13 and 7, so both of the ones to the south miss. Does the one to the north miss as well?
It hits.
Oh, it
I have
hits.
an 18 armor class.
Gotcha. Okay. So as he comes through with the claws, he deals 4 total damage, 2 slashing, 2 fire. 16 does save, so let's see what your damage is. So yeah, you will take 1 fire damage as the one in front of you lets out this small little puff of flame that you're able to kind of dodge.
It's
and
basically
avoid.
like an amber just flew out of its mouth.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Nothing really happened there. The ones by Vormosh, there's nothing they can do either except for claw. The one to the north is going to use his fire breath. And then the other two, the one to the south is going to claw. The other one is going to... he's also going to fire breath. So Vormosh needs to make 2 dex saves here. Yep. And yep. Okay. Cool. And the attack roll was a 22. So that's 7 damage. And then... so it'll take 3 and 2, so an additional 5 fire damage from that. Oof. Rough. Belvedere, you're up.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, and I'm going to step up to this fella right here. And attack with my new sword.
Alright. 15 hits. And as you make contact with this thing, it lands true, and you watch as, similar to what Cedric saw, you make contact and it kind of just bursts into just small little puffs of magma that kind of crumple to the ground as this thing disintegrates.
Then I'm going to step forward over it and attack the one to the north.
All right. Uh, 14 hits. Okay. Anything else?
Nope, that'll be my turn for now.
All right. So as you make your second attack, it lands perfectly. Does a nice little chunk of damage to it. However, it is still floating and fluttering over the lava. Avalana, you are up.
I'm gonna Vicious Mockery, the same one I crossbow bolted the first time.
So the one, what was that? This one up here? Or was it the one to the south? I can't remember.
It was to the left
south,
of
yeah.
Vorma.
Yep, okay. Vicious Mockery, save. He completely fails, so he takes 2 damage. Anything else?
I'm gonna move up a step, and then that'll be my turn.
Alrighty. Vormosh, seeing that Belvedere is now behind him to help, kind of looks around and is going to cast Frostbite on the one to the south, and that shouldn't expend any spell slots, so I'm going to add 1 more back. Con save for him, and he fails, so let's see. All right. So as he quickly turns to the one to the south, he casts Frostbite, which lands perfectly. And as it does, you notice it's doing a lot more damage than, or he notices it does a lot more damage than what he was accustomed to. And as it hits this kind of fluttering beast, it almost kind of rears back a little bit and kind of dazed from the damage that it just took from him. Cedric, you are up.
So you said I could use my full movement to pick up my longsword?
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that and then make an attack against the same guy.
To the northwest, alright. Oh, ouch. Nope, that does not hit. That hits though.
And I'd like to expend another superiority die to do a sweeping attack.
Okay.
The guy in the middle will take the damage as well.
Alrighty. Nice.
Not so nice. 14 damage to both.
14 to the one to the north.
And the one to my
Okay.
west.
Alright. And as you do, making the sweeping attack, hitting both of them, doing a nice little chunk of damage. Yeah, the superiority die wasn't quite what you would want it to be, but it does considerable damage as both of them kind of almost flutter a bit off balance, trying to regain a bit of their composure from that. However, back to their turn.
Remember the one that got hit with Avalon's Vicious Mockery has disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're going to just keep going here. The one to the north, cast Fire Breath. So 19's gonna hit.
Yep.
All right. I'm sorry, the one to the south, cast Fire Breath. 6 total damage. 4 slashing, 2 fire. One to the south does cast Fire Breath, so you'll go ahead and have to give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
That succeeds.
That succeeds. So you take 3 fire damage as he lets out a small little puff of fire.
Also, does the potion of fire resistance we got do anything with this fire damage?
It does not, because it's basically just shielding your skin from the heat. It's not shielding you from lava, as Freddy kind of alluded to whenever you were down at the foot of the mountain. Yeah, so, and then the claws do not hit Vormosh, thankfully. Belvedere, you're up.
I will attack again the one up to the north.
Okay. Uh, 9 does not hit, unfortunately. 17 does, though. Alright, and as you make contact with this, you watch as the one similar, or this falls like to the lava similar to the one directly under your feet, kind of dissipating into a mist of magma as it kind of crumples down into the lava itself, directly to your north. Anything else?
That'll be it for my turn.
Alrighty. Avalana, you're up.
I'm gonna just do the same thing I did last time.
Okay. Go ahead and give... Yeah, there we go. Wisdom save he fails. So takes a full 6 damage. And as you begin to say these nasty little things to it, you watch as this thing kind of begins to boil over a bit and then just erupts, and you watch as all of the magma from the being just fall to the ground and down into the pit to the south.
Awesome. So I'm gonna then walk forward a little bit, and then that'll be the end of my turn.
Alrighty. Vormash, what has he got here? I think he's going to do the same thing as last time. He is going to cast Frostbite on the one to the south of Cedric here. So this one needs to make a con save. 17 he is going to save. So he'll take... maybe he doesn't take damage. I don't think he takes damage. No,
Usually
he takes
on
no damage. Yeah.
cantrips, they don't take damage.
Yeah, he does not. So as he casts the frostbite in the direction of this beast to the south, it unfortunately does not make contact. Cedric, you are up though.
I'm going to attack the same one again.
Okay, the one to the north. And 20 hits. And as you make impact with this thing, you watch as it bursts into a mist of lava that falls to the pit below.
Then I'll immediately swing my longsword into the other one right in front of me.
Alrighty. Yeah, that hits. 6. And similarly, as you make impact with it, it also bursts into a small puff of lava that collapses and falls to the tile below.
That'll be it.
Alrighty. With 2 left, one to the southwest, is going to reach out at you, Cedric, and I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw, please. Ouch.
That's the one I trained in.
So as you're watching this kind of flutter around, you watch as he reaches forward and grabs on to the sword that you're holding. And as it does, it begins to immediately heat up, forcing you to release it. And as you're kind of holding it just before you're releasing it, it begins to burn your hand a bit, doing 4 fire damage. And your weapon is now sitting at your feet. The one to your south, however, is going to attempt to make a fire breath attack at you.
I hate heat metal.
Oh, that sucks. Just under. So he kind of rears back a little bit, and as he does, he lets out the small gout of flame that hits you for 6 fire damage. However, these are the last 2 left, so yeah, that's something to be thankful for. Belvedere, you're up.
Already. So all the ones near Varmash and myself are dead.
Yes, they are.
Can I move up next to Cedric?
Yep.
I will attack the one to the south.
Alrighty. Yeah, that hits. Anything else?
I'll attack it again.
Alrighty. Yeah, that hits too. Anything else?
That'll be it for my turn.
Alright, so as you bring the longsword down, the first one hits. You're noticing as it lands the attack, it does a nice little chunk of damage. And then the second one, as it makes connection, it also does a good chunk of damage. Just a reminder, if you are attempting to use the fire property, you're going to have to let me know that you're using your bonus to use the command word to activate it. That is a thing with that weapon. The fire is not automatic.
Even between rounds, if I don't shoot it.
You still haven't used your bonus to set the thing on fire to begin with.
Yeah, I know. Like, but I'm
But
saying.
no. Once it's on fire until you either sheath it or use the command word to put it out.
Okay, just making
So
sure.
yeah, you only have to use it once as you're in combat, and like I said, once you sheath your weapon or you tell it to go away, that's the only time it goes away.
Just double checking.
Yep. Avalana, you're up.
So the one that made Cedric drop its sword, I'm gonna Dissonant Whispers that.
Alrighty. Yeah, do it. Whispers is 60. Yeah, you're fine. I had to remember. Wisdom save. He fails. Alright, doing a nice little bit of damage to it. I can't remember off the top of my head any additional properties to that. I don't think it is. I think it's just more damage.
I think it has to. I'll
It has to
check.
move
But
away.
I believe it has
Right,
to
it moves
move
away. Correct. That's right.
as
So
far as it possibly can.
on its turn, safely move away. That's correct. I remember now because that's what I was doing on Sunday.
Poor Druidy.
Poor Druidy. Anything else?
Nope.
Alrighty. Vorma, she's gonna go back to what he was doing before, casting more of this frostbite. The one to the south. He needs to make a con save. He fails, so he's going to take 4 frost damage, and as he does, you watch as this thing immediately fizzles out. The ice that encapsulates his body just makes him just completely just die in place, and you watch as the little puff of ice just falls into the lava and then melts into nothingness.
It should actually be 2d6 damage because he's level 5.
Oh, that's true. Either way, the other would have been enough because reasons.
Because of very obvious reasons.
Because of very obvious reasons. Cedric, you're up.
Can I use my sword?
Yup. You can reach down and pick your sword up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to swing at the guy that made me drop mine.
Damn you, stop it. Yeah, that hits. Alright, anything else?
You've got to be kidding me.
Does not.
Yeah, that's it.
Alright. Alright, so as you make the first swipe, it makes good contact. Not quite enough, however, to drop this thing out of the sky as it immediately flutters forward and claws at you.
It has to move away,
Alright, it does have to move away. Thank you. Okay.
which means I get an opportunity attack.
No, if it's forced to move away, you do not get an opportunity attack. It is something that it cannot control. So you do not get opportunity attacks on those. You only get opportunity attacks if it moves so willingly. So if it's a status effect that causes it, you do not get them. So yeah, he moves away. That does it for his turn. Belvedere, you're up.
What's the range on my weapons are again?
should be, I think it's
30, 120.
Yeah, 120, yeah.
Then I would like to move forward 10 feet.
All right.
And I'm going to pitch javelins at it.
All right. Yeah, that hits. And as soon as you hit this thing, you watch as the javelin flies through it, and this thing just erupts into a mist of lava that falls directly behind this this small dwarven individual pushing the cart, who immediately kind of turns back, like freaking out, like, what the hell was that? Though he doesn't do anything else, he just kind of watches, but that was kind of weird to him. And with that, combat has ended.
When I see this dwarvish fellow turn around, and is he looking at us now, I take it?
I mean, you just killed a thing right beside him. He was pushing a cart, so as he's kind of pushing this cart, that was the only thing, is he saw the beast behind him kind of explode, and then beyond that, he just continued about his work.
I like this guy. I'm gonna pick up my javelins then.
He's like, fuck this, I don't want anything to do with this, I got a job to do. Okay.
A true dwarf.
A true dwarf. He has more important things to do. So, what are you guys doing?
I'm just gonna follow Cedric.
Alrighty.
Also, I just totally realized after scrolling down that putting the silver, because I didn't add it, finished add it earlier, or all that money will put me apparently over encumbered.
Mm-hmm.
So could I just do a slight retcon and say that I left like my silver because that's what I have a fuck ton of, like in that cart I put a bunch of stuff in earlier, like in a
Jeez,
bag
how
or
much
something.
are you carrying?
I mean, you can still split it with everybody.
I did split it.
And that's with splitting it?
Yeah.
I got like almost 4,000 silver pieces.
I am over limit as well, and I have a ton of silver.
So you'll have to drop stuff and get back below your encumbered limit. If you go over that, you are now your movement.
I'm gonna drop all of my copper.
Okay.
That's what I was asking if I could say like I left my silver back with like
that's fine. You can
full of stuff.
Any way you guys want to make that happen, as long as you're below your limit, that's okay.
So, what am I looking at up here to the north?
All right. I'm glad you asked. You got to give me a second because this note is all screwed up because of the stupid
Roll20
changes to Roll20. Okay. So as you make your way to the west, you notice the small dwarven individual whose whose hair and beard are made up with almost fire, it would appear, slowly pushing this cart that's loaded down with several iron ingots as he hauls it off to forges to the west and to the north. As you kind of make your way across the pathway, as you took care of all of these fluttering little beasts, you're noticing there are a few what look like impish individuals kind of leading them, telling them what to do and what tasks to complete next. They all work in unison, and none of them seem to be complaining about it. They have a job to do, and they're very focused on that job, and nothing, as you saw, is really going to distract them from doing so.
And what's the statue? Can I see what the statue is to the south, like a general estimate?
Which statue?
All the way to the south.
You are not really close enough to be able to identify anything that far away
So I
yet.
can see a statue.
Yeah, you can see a strange-looking statue that's towards the end of the pathway there.
So do you guys want to mess with the forges? Or just continue south?
I mean,
Forges are to the north, you said?
there's a forge to the
North
north
and the west.
two to the west. From what you can tell, these guys don't even give a shit that you're there. They don't care. Like, none of this matters to them. They are doing their job, and that's it.
Personally, I say live and let live.
I'm a little curious to see what is up to in the stuff to the north.
Let's not fight anything we don't have to.
It looks like there's not much else besides maybe these little impy guys. Which, by the way, I'll hand a potion to Cedric if you'd like to restore some HP.
Yeah, I'm not doing too good.
Don't forget, you also have your healing surges as well.
A what?
Oh, it should be in your notes. You guys get 2 healing surges per long rest. Healing surges in this campaign, which I'll show to you again so you can see it. Those are the rules to the healing surge. 2 per party, per long or short rest. If you do it over a short rest, you regain 1. If you do it over a long rest, you can regain both. And then the rules are in the top section up there of what you can use them for and how to use them. In lieu of not having a true healer in your class, that's one of the things we allow. All right, so what are you guys doing?
Oh, I used up all my hit by during the short rest because I was rolling like shit.
What's
Yeah.
down south?
We don't know.
Pathway that leads to what appears to be a statue of some sort.
Do I see any more bubbles?
No, as you're kind of looking around, everything looks pretty safe. You don't notice anything that kind of stands out. It's the lava is constantly flowing and kind of rippling, but it doesn't look like it did as you were crossing the pathway to get over here.
Did you accept my potion, Cedric?
Yeah, it's just a regular.
Yeah, that's a terrible roll.
Well, it's 5 more hit points than I didn't have.
I guess that's an optimistic way to look at it.
I have to be optimistic in this game. Hey, look, another
As we
portal.
get closer to the statue, can we tell what it is? Like what it's supposed to look like?
Once you get closer, I'll give you some descriptions, yeah.
Guys, there's another portal.
Yeah, off to your west, on the other end of what appears to be a path through the lava, is another portal. Though similar to the other one, you're not really sure where or what it might connect to.
I'm just gonna say, don't wander too far without me, guys, and I'm gonna walk to the north a little bit.
Okay. So is
Let's stop here.
party stopping, okay. The closer you start to get, Belvedere, you're starting to draw a bit of attention to yourself. The imp who is kind of controlling the 2 to the north begins to flutter his wings, and hearing the footsteps starts turning in your direction, watching as you get closer to their forges.
I'll just stare at him and put my hand on my hilt and just give him a long, give him a slightly longer than normal stare.
And as you do, the two dwarven individuals lay down their small hammers that they were using for the forge itself. And as they do, they reach to their hips and pull out these really kind of fancy looking war hammers. And as soon as they pull them out, you watch as they immediately ignite into a flame.
I'll say to the dwarves and dwarves that I have no qualms with you if you don't have any qualms with me. We're just here for business. But I'll still staring at the imp.
And they don't move. They watch you very closely, and they do not even respond to you.
Also looking down at I guess like a path that goes down over to the left.
Mm-hmm. Also goes down and around the corner through the lava.
Like I kind of noticed when walking up that it, like from the angle, at least it was showing. I don't know if this is like if I'm actually supposed to see it or not, because it showed steps.
Yep.
No, like actually I've been able to see that.
Yep. It was the line of sight of it. You could have seen the edge of the steps from where you were. What are you doing?
I'll ask general to these fine gentlemen up here if they know where this path goes to the left.
And as you ask them, the one to the east begins to speak up, and then one sec. I need to double check something. Yep, that was right. Let's see if I'm right on this one. Do you speak Infernal?
I do not speak Infernal. I speak here.
Okay. Yeah, so as you continue to speak to them in Dwarvish, you hear as the kind of floating imp begins to speak in Infernal, which you do not quite understand. The two dwarves kind of nod knowingly, keeping their eyes trained upon you, watching very intently. But they do not respond to you.
So the one that actually ended up starting to speak up, I take it then?
Yes.
I'll look at the imp and be like, what about you? Do you speak? I'll ask him if it speaks. First, I'll ask him if it speaks Dwarvish, if it understands me, or then I'll ask if it understands Common and Common.
And he responds to neither.
Belvedere will sigh. And then to say to the dwarves again, I'll say to the dwarves in Dwarvish again, if this fellow's giving you a problem, I can take care of him. No questions asked. If you'd like, no skin off your backs.
As you say that, again, the imp, unable to understand you, the two dwarves and all the dwarves in the chamber acknowledge what you said, but they seem content where they are. They're not willing to go against the grain, as it were.
Even can I try a persuasion? Try to persuade them, maybe?
I mean, you can try. You can try anything.
I'd like to try and persuade them to, work with me here, and I'll take care of these imps, and we can just say that, it'll be nothing to you. After just like some information, and then you can carry on and do what you will afterwards. Even tell them that that it did nothing. That it was just me and my companions that came through here.
Okay, you can try.
God damn it.
Not gonna be enough though, and while you seem very convincing to them, and you begin to try to comfort them and make them feel as though they can trust you, they aren't accepting. They, as mentioned, they look pretty content with their task and what they are doing, and as you continue to plead with them and say that you can offer aid and assist them to get rid of the imps, they don't seem to be troubled by any of this.
All right. I would just say carry on then, and I'll start to walk away, but keep my eye on an imp for a few steps, and then, so long as he doesn't make any movements or anything.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
as you start walking away, and he starts to hear your footsteps leaving, he immediately turns back to what he was doing, kind of directing the two to the north. And you watch as they immediately sheathe their hammers or war hammers that they had, pick up the hammers from the anvil, and go right back to what they were working on before.
Alright, I'll go join the rest of the party.
Okay. Everybody down here, just stay right where you are.
I don't like the sound of that.
The long rectangular
I
chamber.
wanna look at the statue so bad.
The long rectangular chamber ahead branches in 3 directions. To the west, a pathway leading to a very large statue at the end of the chamber. Directly over a channel of cooled molten chamber that lines the center of the room going west to east. To the south, a headless statue holding a black glowing orb upon a small block of stone with a tiny inlay positioned in the center of the block. On the floor in front of the statue, a small pile of ash which has begun to drift down the stairway. To the east, the once flowing pool of magma now rests dormant and cooled, forming a solid black rock which extends the entire length of the room.
Can I do a close check on the statue down from me?
The one to the south?
Yeah.
Sure, you would have to be close enough to it to do so.
So what was this over here?
Okay. So Avalana, stay right where you are. Nobody move. See, this is one of those kind of rooms. So, that's the thing. To the west, 1 second. To the west, a pathway leading to a very large statue standing at the end of the chamber, directly over a cooled molten channel which lines the center of the chamber from the west to the east. Avalana, unfortunately for you, as you step across the panels of the group of tiles, just a step before where you are right now, you hear an audible click on the flooring below you. And then repeated clicking over and over that echo through the chamber. And we're going to take a 5-minute break here, and when we come back, we're going to discuss exactly what you just did. So I'm going to be right back, because I need a quick break. And everybody's going to hate me for taking a break right there. So I'll be right back.
I'm putting cool things that I want to look at.
I can't help it. I want you to look at those things, and I want you to want to look at those things. So of course, course I'm gonna put other things in place.
We
I
need
hate
a
you for the
road.
flame tongue.
What's that?
I hate you for the flame tongue.
Yeah. I was
Just
like,
the tension when there was one
Right?
long sword.
one long sword and two people that use long swords. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. We're just making
Next
this
time
happen.
I join a game, I'm going to ask what the main fighter's weapon of choice is and pick something else.
All right. I will be.
That way there will be an
right back.
argument when a warhammer or a longsword comes up.
All right, I'll be right back, guys.
To be fair, if it were like a greatsword or something, I would probably switch to that. It was a magic greatsword anyway. AKA, if we still had the didn't Slavomir have a greatsword +1? I think he did.
You're welcome, Spoon.
Thanks. Do appreciate it. Said though, if you wanted to like do a roll off or something for it, I was fine with it.
I was so tempted to just take it.
Well, that would have been
A dick move. It comes with a good reason, though.
you have the duelist battle type, yeah?
Yep.
I was gonna say if it wasn't for that. I mean, technically, you could still dual wield if you wanted to, or 2-weapon fight. You just wouldn't be able to use your shield. Which, I mean, if you want to try it, you're more than welcome to use my longsword. My silver longsword
I
if you want.
don't have to dual wield their feet.
You don't need. Oh, yeah. I always forget that shit. Should have been a 2-weapon fighting warrior.
Pick dual wielder instead of sentinel.
Indeed.
Viva la revolution.
2-weapon fighting dual wield, you would have been able to do DPS for days.
I mean, I'm still doing quite a bit of DPS. Especially when I go into my Radiant form.
True.
And after I got my stats, I wanted to play it safe. Oh crap. I get an extra superiority die.
Well, there's always next level too. You can always take dual wielder and still have sentinel.
That is true. But I still have a 16 strength.
my strength's only 17. Not sure what feat I'm going to pick at 8, or feat at all. Tempted to do plus like 1 to charisma and plus 1 to strength. So we get 18 and start dragging my charisma up a few more points.
You could just get alert, finally get a bonus to your initiative.
Yeah. I'm -1 to initiative because I have 8 dexterity.
+4.
Oh, there, now I have a -1. So it'd be a +3.
Well, no, you get a +5 to initiative.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
I'm back.
Seriously, though, I'm always going to ask that. Every game you run.
What's that?
What weapon is everyone using?
Mm-hmm. All right. So, just to reiterate everything that happened, Avalana, as you stepped forward, you heard an audible click on the flooring below you, then repeated clicking coming from all around. The small triangular nooks around the room begin to open, revealing small pits before quickly slamming shut once again. From the pits, which rests only in the magma-filled sides of the chamber itself, you watch as 6 fire snakes slowly creep their way out of the pit and begin making their way towards you. I need everybody to go ahead and roll initiative again, please.
Yay. Something decent.
Huh. I was really hoping this wouldn't happen. I was like hoping that like my description of like you crossing the pathway of like the bubbling thing would like get your attention and like you would like look for traps. But no.
Well, the guy with the investigation didn't get a chance to get up there.
Yeah. Not today.
He tried to start a revolution. That was his.
I'm just too excited.
Just too excited about the platform with the statue. All right.
The headless giant statue.
The headless statue that is holding a black orb. Nothing intimidating about that at all. Avalana, you are the first to react to these snakes that come slithering out of their holes.
How big is the black orb?
Pretty big. It's almost like 3.5 foot in diameter.
So
Sorry,
I couldn't be able to pick it up.
You could attempt to.
Because I kind of want to pick it up and throw it into the lava.
Okay. You can attempt to.
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to do that.
Okay.
Before that happens, would anything in this room so far, like, is set off my Isator sense?
Yes. The statue is definitely giving you that sense. There's a lot of magic around this entire place. Like, everything here kind of glows a little bit. Like, all of the pillars, the flooring, everything just... It's emanating magic of some sort. The platform with the statue definitely glows, and as you're looking at the statue, you notice the inlay in the front side of it is also glowing a bit, and the platform that the orb is setting on top of. The orb is glowing very brightly, But beyond that, everything else is just a very faint, kind of dim glow.
If I see that and I see Avalon going for it, I'm gonna be like, yell out to her, leave the conspicuous magic orb alone for now. We've got business to take care of.
Does he actually get to do that?
He would be able to on his turn. I mean, we're already into combat here. That's a little delayed. So at the beginning of his turn, he would be able to warn you.
Because I've already decided to pick it up at least.
Okay. You can try, so go ahead and give me a strength check.
Try to pick it up.
Okay.
So what do I roll?
A strength check.
Oh, that's not going to go well. How do I roll a strength check?
Click where it says strength on your...
Oh, okay. Click the word?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. And as you reach forward and put your hands on the side of this orb, you feel this presence, this force that is preventing you from actually grabbing onto it. And your hand kind of hovers about 4 to 5 inches away from the orb itself as it kind of fluctuates in front of you. And as you go to try to raise off of that platform, that force that you feel, you notice that you're unable to actually move it.
Can I do like an Arcana check on that, or is that my whole turn?
You spent your primary action trying to pick it up, so you would not be able to Arcana check that.
Well, I guess I'll Bardic Inspire Belvedere,
Okay.
and then that'll be the end of my turn.
Alrighty. Okay. So this is the next thing. 1 second. Trying to remember what all they do. Okay. Okay, that's good. He's gonna make his way there. Gonna make his way there. His way there. 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 And there. Cool. Starting with Belvedere and going south by the ones that can attack. He is going to kind of lash out with his tail, and then as soon as he finishes his tail attack, is going to lean forward and attempt to bite at Vormash. 6 is going to miss. Yes.
This range, is he?
I'm sorry?
The one attacking Belvedere, is he within my range of attack?
What is your range of attack?
5 feet, I think, with my longsword.
No, that's 10 feet.
Okay. I don't know, the tile's a little off for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's 10 feet there. And he gets a plus on saves, right, Belvedere? Is that what your aura does?
Yeah, plus 3 to saving throws.
Okay, I just want to make sure. 17 is going to hit, and as he does, is going to deal 5 damage total. And also, 1 sec. Okay, and as he does, you watch as kind of Vormash kind of bends back a little bit, trying to avoid it. He's able to move out of the way of the tail, but the bite lands true, doing a nice little chunk of damage. But other than that, it's about all it's going to do to him. Belvedere, beside you, same thing here. He's going to go for his tail and bite attack. 17 and 14.
Nope and nope.
All right. Cedric, same thing to you. Tail and bite. 6 and 17.
Nope.
And Avalana, same thing. Tail and bite. 15 and 9.
The 15 hits.
Okay. So the tail attack is going to hit. So I'll get you damage on that. He's going to do 2 bludgeoning and 5 fire damage to you as his tail whips around and makes a nice little impact upon your leather armor there. Cedric, you are up.
I am going to attack this one.
Okay. Yeah, that hits. Alrighty. Anything else? Unfortunately, the second attack does not. So as you bring the longsword down, it makes good contact on the first strike, but almost anticipating the second one, it quickly dodges out of the way and kind of slinks its head down, forcing you to miss the attack.
Okay.
Belvedere, you're up.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I'm gonna check something real quick. Alright, so I'm going to move away from this guy. Yes, I'm going to invoke the opportunity attack. I don't care.
Okay. And as you do, 14 to hit.
Nope.
Alrighty.
If I can step right here,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to invoke my Conquering Presence.
Alrighty. Mm-hmm. Each creature of your choice within 30 feet must make a wisdom saving throw.
And I'd like to make all of these creatures make their wisdom saving throw.
What is the DC?
It was my spell DC, so 14.
Okay, so it's going to go top down, left to right. So the one by Vormash saves. The one that you just left from fails. The one to the far left saves. The one in front of Cedric saves, because you said 14.
Yep.
The one to the south saves. And the one in front of Avalana fails. So, this one and the one by Avalana both failed. So
Not as good as I was hoping, but there's a couple.
Yeah. And they are drawn to you. Is that correct?
They're frightened.
They're frightened, so they got to move away from you as far as possible.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right. Anything else?
And I'm going to move it back up, so I only moved 10 feet. It's up to the one next to Vormash.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, hold on, let me... It's an action for me to use my Shard of Twilight. Yes.
I believe so. Let's look. Yes, I forgot to put that on there, didn't I? It would fall under whatever that spell would be. So if it's an action, then it would be an action.
Oh yeah, it is an action. I had it written down in the spell description. Okay, so.
Yep.
Let me use my bonus action to cast my spiritual weapon.
Alrighty. And where do you want it?
I'd like it to be across from me from the monster that I'm attacking.
Okay. So, like, over here?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead
No, no.
and do your attack. So, in the future, click on the token for that weapon. You'll see a thing that says attack. The little button that pops up in your top left. And you click on it. Yeah. So once you cast the spell and it takes the spell slot away, all you got to do is click on that, and every time it'll attack from now on. 21 hits. And then, yeah, just click where it says attack. And 10 force damage. I found this to be a much better solution than creating an additional line on the character sheet.
I dig it.
So, deal an additional 10 force damage as the spiritual weapon comes out and immediately slices forward, hitting the fire snake. Vormash, not too pleased with all of these fire snakes around here. These motherfucking snakes in the motherfucking lava need to die. Cast Frostbite at the one directly beside him, who is going to make a save. And fails, taking 11 frost damage. And as he does, you watch as this thing shrivels up into nothingness and turns into like this black powder that kind of floats on top of the lava and is now unmoving. Avalana, you're up.
The snake right next to me, I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers on it.
Alrighty. So just to help, he's already marked to run as far away from Belvedere as possible, so he's already going to be making a beeline in this direction. He's forced to run on his turn.
I'll do it on the other one closest to me.
Okay.
That isn't marked.
Okay. Figure I'd try to help a little bit there. Wisdom save on this one here. He fails, so he takes the full 11 damage and will be running away from you as he is now feared. Anything else?
As a bonus action, I do like an Arcana check or something.
No, it would need to be a primary action.
All right, that's it in my turn.
Okay. With that, we'll start from the top and work our way down. This guy... to move there. He can try to save again, correct? What is it? Wisdom save? Or... Belvedere?
Oh, he actually, with my Civil 7, I gained this. So anyone in my 10-foot aura is reduced, their movement speed is reduced to 0, and they take damage equal to half my paladin level.
Okay, so his speed's moved to 0, and he takes psychic damage, half your paladin level. Alright, so yes, he starts his turn there. So what's your paladin level?
7, so it'll be 3 damage.
All right. And then what is your other spell save so he can try to break free?
It is the DC 14 wisdom save.
He does break free, so at the start of his turn, he will be able to react normally once again. To the south, however, he is going to rush up and tail then bite. 11 and 8, Belvedere?
Definitely no.
All right. Cedric, directly in front of you. He is going to do the same thing. Tail and bite. 17
Nope.
and 11. This one needs to run away. This one needs to run away. And that is their turn. Cedric, you're up. Actually, saves. Avalana, what's your save again on that? On Dissonant Whispers?
It only lasts one turn.
Oh, so it ends after this. Okay, so I'll remove this now since he moved. Okay, and then Belvedere save again. 14. What was yours? 15?
14.
Okay, so he breaks as well. So he'll be okay to return to combat next. Yeah, Cedric, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to make my longsword attack.
Alrighty. Yeah. 100% hits.
And I want to burn a superior die to make a trip attack. It has to make a strength saving throw, I believe, or it falls prone.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the damage. Okay. So you use your superiority die for the trip attack. So he falls prone, but he's dead. So I'm not going to roll the save on it.
Oh, well then.
Anything else?
I'll move there.
All right. Yeah, and you're still within range of them. Do not provoke an opportunity attack. Belvedere, you're up.
I would like to move in between the two of them.
Okay.
Then I'll move my spiritual weapon.
So for your bonus, you can move it or attack. Or move. I think it's move and attack. Let me double check.
I can move it up to 20 feet and still
And attack, yes.
Bonus.
Yep, that's correct. Yep.
So I'm going to attack first the one in between. I'm going to use my spiritual weapon attack to attack that one in between myself and it.
Okay. Yep, 18 hits. Alrighty.
I'll attack with my long sword Sans Fire.
Okay.
My flame tongue.
Alrighty. That hits as well. Alright. And as both of you land these shots, you notice that this thing's looking a little weak, but is still just barely standing.
I'll attack my second attack.
Alrighty. Unfortunately, an 11 is not going to hit.
Oh, boo.
Oh, boo. So as you bring the longsword down and think you're going to make contact, it unfortunately kind of slithers out of the way, avoiding the attack itself. Vormash, looking over to the one directly over the pit of lava, is going to quickly turn and cast Frostbite at it as well. That's right. And he needs to con save, and he fails. And as he does, you watch as this thing, similar to the one directly to his southwest, shrivels up into a nothingness and kind of floats along the top of the lava here. Avalana, you're up.
We could
What's
really
up?
do with a cold tongue longsword.
Right? That would have been completely different.
I'm gonna Vicious Mockery, the one I attacked last turn.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and give me that Vicious Mockery. Wisdom save. Oh, nat 20. So nothing happens.
And I'm gonna give Bardic Inspiration to Cedric.
Okay. Belvedere
And
still
that's my
having
turn.
his. Cedric now also having Bardic Inspiration.
Oh shit, that's right. I actually forgot about that.
All right, going top down, left, right. The one beside Belvedere is going to strike with the tail and then with the bite. 15 and 6.
I want to use my reaction to do an attack against this guy.
Alrighty. Yep, that hits. Alright, and as you make solid contact with this beast, you watch as you're able to quickly and easily lop its head off, and it falls lifeless to the tile before you. The one to the southwest starts making his way over towards Avalana again. The other one to the southwest is also going to make his way forward over to Avalana, and this time he is going to attack. Oh, nat 20 and a 14.
Surprisingly, the nat 20 doesn't hit. The 20 hits.
Alright. The nat 20 hits, right?
Of course it doesn't.
Of course not. No.
Surprisingly, no, it doesn't.
Surprisingly, no. We're not. Nope. So it is going to do 8 bludgeoning damage and 7 fire damage as its tail whips around and lashes out towards you. But that was a nice try, though. Cedric, you're up.
Okay. You can move diagonally for
Absolutely.
only 5 feet, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can move as much as you need to diagonally.
Then I'd like to draw my longbow and take a shot at this one.
Okay. Yeah, that hits. Alrighty.
Then, if I can, I'd also like to burn a superiority die to do a maneuvering attack, so Avalana can move up to half her movement.
Yay! So Avalana, get the hell out of there quickly.
Ten damage.
Alrighty. Anything else?
Another attack,
Okay.
because I forgot I
Mm-hmm.
could do that.
You can. Same one?
Yep.
Alrighty. Ooh, nat 20. Yeah, so luckily that was a natural 8. So yeah, that, as soon as it pierces the skin, you watch as the fire snake crumples to the ground, unmoving, hissing along the way. Anything else?
That is it.
All right, Belvedere, you were up.
Alright, let's see if I can. Only one of them left, yeah?
That is correct.
Alright, so I'll try to make my way toward that guy. I'm safe standing there to attack.
Yep.
Alright. Then I'm going to pull out my long sword and, for shits and giggles, speak the command word to activate Flame Tongue. And I'm going to attack.
Okay. And what command word are you giving this thing?
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. All right. So shouting out the word shenanigans, he pulls out the long sword. It erupts into a flame, and you make your attack. 26 hits. Yeah. So as you make contact with the first attack, you watch as this thing immediately collapses to the ground. are into the lava and kind of dissolves into the nothingness. The second attack was just overkill as you bring the sword down, just wanting to bat at the ashes of the being that was still there. You have survived the snakes.
I'm going to put my bow away and make sure my longsword is at the ready.
All right.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
really?
take a potion. So how many dice is that?
Is it a regular potion of healing?
Yeah, I'm guessing it is.
2d4 plus 2.
2d4.
Am I the only person that has an entry on my attacks list for potions of healing, so I don't have to type it every time?
Probably. I mean, I remember what it is, so let's just do that.
Yeah.
I do it because I don't want to have to type it out every time.
Avalana, what were you doing with the statue?
This is the point. I'm going to also say that is
I wanted to look at it.
well, be careful with what you do because that's probably very likely that's what we came here to look for.
As you guys made your way over here, everybody give me a perception check. Belvedere with advantage.
Oh, that's actually not bad.
That was a pretty good roll, both of you. Wow. Avalana, you watch as the party starts to come to over here by the stairwell. You notice that as Vormash got closer, and Belvedere, you notice this even more with your sight. The closer Vormash got to the statue, it began to glow. Like there were different runes kind of glowing on the front edge of the stone tablet that, or the stone block that the statue is holding, the orb is sitting on top of. And as he got closer, you noticed that it was glowing more and more, which it had not previously been doing when he was at the other end of the room.
My dear Vormash, who is mute currently, come closer to the statue, and I'm going to grab his hand and I'm going to pull him closer.
All right. And as you do, you notice, and I'm going to move him out of the way, as you kind of drag him over here towards the statue, it continues to glow, and he stops and thinks for a minute and reaches down, and as he's kind of reaching to his pack, Avalana, give me an investigation check. Yeah, as both of you are kind of looking at this, it started to dawn on him as soon as he started getting closer. The circle inlay on the front side of this block was the same exact size as the coins or the tokens that you guys have been gathering along the way. And as he reaches into his pocket and starts searching, he pulls out the token that you guys had gotten from within the Temple of the Weave. And as he pulls it out, he notices on the back side of it, the rune on the back matches the one in the center of the inlay. And as he kind of puts it into place, suddenly the orb, which was this black, weird-looking orb, ignites into a fireball and stays in the same place, doesn't move from its position. after a couple of minutes, kind of look. The orb has no noticeable heat, no anything radiating from it. You stare at the orb and kind of stare at it in awe, almost, kind of amazed at this random thing that you have now found. But beyond that, as soon as the orb ignites into this fireball, the coin that Vormash was holding fades. The glowing rune on the back of it fades out, and he reaches his hand out, and the coin just falls off into his hand, and the orb remains lit.
Can I put my hand kind of close to the flames? Not close enough to touch them, but to see if, like, are they hot and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. And as you reach out, you notice that there's no heat at all radiating from it. And in fact, it's so mysterious that as you reach forward, it almost makes you want to touch it. And as you put your finger against the outer edge of it, you notice nothing harmful happens as you touch the outer edge of this orb.
I'm gonna stick my whole hand in.
Okay, and you're able to place your hand completely against the side of this orb. You watch as the glow of the radiating lava heat, or what looks like lava, just kind of flows over your hand, doing absolutely nothing to you.
You guys, this is freaky. Using my, like, arcane knowledge, would I have any idea how this is happening?
No, Belvedere, as you're looking over this thing, like, you had seen the orb before, and you knew how bright that glow was from it. It is 10 times brighter than it was before. It's almost blinding how bright this orb is.
And Boulder's kind of squinted out a little bit, and then it's going to turn towards Formash and tell him to give it a try and see if you can make contact with it and what happens.
And just like Avalana, he's able to reach out, and as he places his hands on it, he's able to actually make solid connection against the side of it. The aura of the lava kind of flowing over his hand, but doing absolutely nothing to him, like not harming him in any way.
Oh, I see. Belvedere, Cedric, you guys put your hands on it too.
I doubt that I myself will be able to do anything to it. I'll turn to Cedric and say, give it a try.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, and same thing
know
as
where the right place my token is.
Yeah, that's fine. And as you reach out, you're able to place your hand on it. Nothing different happens. It just continues to flow over your hand. You get that same sensation of something moving across your hand, but it's not harmful in any way to you.
Kind of like water trickling down.
Yeah, almost. It almost feels like running water against your hand.
I'm gonna step up, I guess. Examine it a little bit closer first, though. Like, see if I notice anything in particular about it.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Any inconsistencies or markings? Like maybe there's like runes or something that we haven't noticed before
On the orb?
on the orb, or like immediately around it somewhere, like maybe like on the statue.
Okay. On the orb, as you're looking, it literally looks like somebody took molten hot lava and put it inside of just a 3.5 foot diameter orb, and then magically the outer edges of it kind of have this flowing appearance to it. Nothing untoward would happen should you interact with it. There doesn't seem to be as the the coin was released from the inlay when this ignited. When Vormash interacted and put the coin in, you noticed that it was glowing, and then the glowing from the small block underneath, when that stopped, that's when the coin released and he was able to take it back into his hand. You don't notice any additional markings or anything of that nature. Nothing that would stand out immediately to you.
And I'm same thing when I reach out and put my hands on it. It's just make contact with it.
Okay. And as you reach out, similar to the others, and everybody, Wonder Twin powers activated, nothing happens.
Could I? And I don't know anything like if I look into the orb, I don't notice anything like say anything glowing inside of it that stands out.
No, it just appears to have this magical nature about it, and it's just glowing from within.
Was the other statue glowing as well? One at the other end?
No, it is not.
Can I try and pick this orb up?
You certainly can.
Strength athletics?
Would it be easier if we all helped pick it up?
You can pick it up with advantage if you want.
Sure. Athletics.
If others, yeah, you can athletics if you want. It would technically be strength, but you can athletics if you want. And as you reach forward and place your hands underneath of it, the others helping you lift it up, you once again hear the sound of a click. And then a ticking sound.
Oh boy.
Tick. Tick. Tick.
Perception check. I'm looking everywhere. Is there lava pouring out somewhere? Is there a bomb?
There's no lava pouring out anywhere.
Where's
based
the
on
ticking coming from?
It's coming from the statue. And you notice that as you lifted the orb, the arms of the statue itself raised up ever so slightly, and the block that it was holding felt like it was almost weightless as it lifted up, and that's when the ticking started.
Can I push down on the arms to make the ticking stop?
As you reach forward and place your hand on the brick plate that it's holding, or the stone that it's holding, try to press it back down. It is locked solid, and you're unable to actually press it. The ticking continues.
Am I holding it?
Over.
I'm holding it by myself, pretty much though.
It's elevated completely in the air. It's only under your power.
All right, so I'm gonna try and walk. I want to walk back down the stairs with it.
Tick. Tick. Tick.
Can I search the statue, trying to find the source of the ticking?
And
I'm gonna walk up to the. I want to walk to the right or east.
And as soon as you reach the cross in the road, at the end of the hallway to the west, the statue, which you have ignored to this point, slowly begins to crack and move under pressure.
Balls.
Oh no.
And we're going to stop our session here with that at the end of the hallway.
Not my fault.
And I won't stop there. I'll stop with this. I'll read it the way that it is written. To the west, the statue, which had previously been ignored, begins to slowly move and break out of its outer shell as it cracks under the pressure and springs to life, falling, all of the outer edges of it falling to the ground below. Underneath, a softer, almost clay-like surface of a very large beast begins marching in your direction, and he will officially move before we end our session here. And the statue is now gone. So, and you have the orb in your hand.
I was wanting to go and take it to the right
Mm-hmm.
side.
Mm-hmm. And there are certain triggers, both timeline-wise. The longer you waited, that ticking was basically the countdown to this thing being animated. And as you waited and waited and waited, you could have potentially gotten it to the far east of the room had you moved immediately. But because you kind of held it there and you were like, okay, what are we doing? It gave it enough time to allow this being to be released before you could get there. So, that's how we end tonight's session.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was fun. I hope.
That was certainly interesting. And screw those dragons, by the way.
Those
I ripped
badass
those
dragons. Those badass wormlings at the end of the hall. Yeah, those are something.
Badass.
Mm-hmm.
So our next session is still the 11th.
Correct. So going forward, your next session is the 11th. And then after that, the session after is the 21st, which is a group session on Saturday. So make sure you're here. Please make sure you're here.
And then
Will we even be out of the mountain?
I hope so. If not, I'll be writing that into the story of your delay to making it back. We'll see. You should be fine, though. The way I have it written, you should be fine.
Also, I'm nearly dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost out of spells. I can do a healing word on you after this next fight or during this fight, and then I'm like all out.
I have 19 health left.
All right, let me go in the stream and I'll be right back. All right, so that was fun for me, and maybe not for them. I don't know. I like telling the stories. That's all I know. All right, so let's go back to our news page. We're going to start here. Let's go over and say hi to Castle Mac, shall we? They're doing a charity event tonight. Go over, say hi. They're pretty amazing people. And why is my webcam so broken? Go over and say hi to them. I'm gonna go over with you. I will see you on Sunday for Alliance. Have a good night, guys. I'll see you soon.